Hello there. I wanted to say a few words about Mass Effect 3 and the very controversial ending. Ultimately, I thought that Mass Effect 3 was a good game. Uh, it is soured exponentially by the ending, and the reason why the ending ruins the series so bad is because it does not act like a typical ending in the sense that you would expect closure and a sense of accomplishment or reward from completing the game. Now, the as a whole, Mass Effect 3, it definitely had the Mass Effect spark. It had that a lot of people describe. It had those touching moments that really just made you say, "Oh my God!" Like Morden's death scene was unbelievable. Thane's death scene, Legion's death scene. All these things really hit home, and the gameplay was the same quality of that of Mass Effect 2, if not a little bit better. But ultimately, a lot of these things and a lot of these great moments in Mass Effect 3 were spoiled by an ending that really starts to happen, and there's a debate about this, whether it happens when you get hit by the Harbinger beam or at the point after Anderson dies. For me, the game was really soured when Anderson died. After that point where you pass out and the Crucible raises you on an elevator to the top of the Citadel and you meet the Catalyst. Well, the Catalyst is a Deus Ex Machina, and it's not a very good one. And to me, either removing him or replacing him with someone better, uh, like Harbinger, who was the main nemesis of Mass Effect 2, that was another thing that really irked me, actually, was Harbinger was not really in this game. He had a cameo. And in Mass Effect 2, he was obsessed with you. So a lot of these things that happened toward the end really culminated to a terrible, bitter taste in which now we get this Catalyst, which is a completely new character. And I think they could have really rectified this with the Catalyst just being Harbinger, offering you these choices, because you really have come farther than any other organic race previously in any of the cycles. So now you have these three choices, and these three choices are really, they're not really that good. The only choice I would say is passable is the destroy ending, which is the red ending. And to me, the red ending is the only logical choice, because the Reapers, at the end of the destroy ending, the Reapers are dead. They're dead, you see them die. The control ending, or the blue ending as some people call it, it's an iffy area. I mean, the Catalyst says to you in his own words, "You will die, you will lose everything you have, but you will be able to control us." Well, how? How is dying and controlling the Reapers a possibility? Is this somehow different from dying? It's a gray area, and what's to stop the Reapers from coming back? Really, there's nothing to stop them from coming back at all. And the synthesis ending, to me, is the worst ending, because you are forcing a fate on the galaxy that they don't deserve, and you're deciding the course of evolution and destroying diversity. And the Catalyst, the funny thing is, the Catalyst even says that this is the final stage of evolution. The merger of organics and synthetics is the final stage of evolution. There is no final stage in evolution. Evolution is continual. Darwinism has taught us that there is no apex of evolution. Evolution is constantly adapting to the environment and your surroundings. So evolution is constantly around. So right there, that's a complete contradiction. So the synthesis ending is basically just a terrible ending, And also with the synthesis ending, that's pretty much what the Reapers were trying to do all along, was to harvest organic life to become Reapers. So by choosing this option, you're doing the Reapers' job for them, and to say that all along the Reapers were right, no. That's awful. That is terrible. And I know why they did it. They wanted to do their Adam and Eve philosophical ending, which, in my opinion, had no place in a story that really wasn't based around philosophy. It works in an ending such as Neon Genesis Evangelion, which had a lot of philosophical symbolisms and touch points from the beginning all the way to the end. So an Adam and Eve ending works in a scenario such as that anime. But in Mass Effect, there really is no final closure, or there's no point to it, is what I'm trying to say. It's giving in to the enemy. And the Destroy ending is the best ending, because with the Destroy ending, you have the destruction of the Reapers. That's what you set out to do from the beginning, was to destroy the Reapers. And you get that, but even that ending, they had to sour it by basically, genocide of the Geth and all of synthetic life. So you're given that little issue, which again sours the Destroy ending. And on top of all of that, the worst part is there is no closure. There's no closure to any of it at all. You don't get to find out what happens to your crew. And let's face it, with the Mass Effect story, the characters are the story. Without your attachment to the characters, there's really no investment in the Mass Effect series. And that's the theme with any BioWare game, is the attachment to the characters. So you get no closure. You don't get any closure on how uniting the galaxy affected anything. It's negated. So all of these things together, the fact that they just negated them all and just threw this whole symbolic make it up as you go and very loosely do it, it was terrible. I mean, a lot of this stuff, they even negated their own lore. The mass relays blowing up, for example. They already showed what happened to a mass relay in the Arrival DLC. I smashed an asteroid into one of them, and the result was the destruction of the relay blew up an entire star system. So the fact that all the relays are destroyed, and BioWare has given a statement saying that everybody survived, it's, if it was different somehow, if the explosion with the relays were different, it should have been noted in the game somewhere that this was different. But they don't do that. So, to me, with the amount of investment going into this game, the amount of personal investment, monetary investment, and so on, it's no surprise that people wanted more from this ending. And the ending felt rushed. It felt like they just didn't think it through very well. There were just too many issues to even begin and to even close. I mean, I don't even know how they could practically fill all the issues. A lot of people have stated that they felt the issues began right after, as soon as you get to Earth, you land in London. A lot of people said that the whole London battle felt rushed, the lack of a boss fight. So I disagree a little bit there. I thought the London battle was okay. It was very waves of enemies coming at you, which seems to be BioWare's new thing ever since Dragon Age 2, is wave combat. But to me, I thought everything was pretty poetic until until that catalyst arrived, the Star Child, as people are calling him. And that's pretty much it. I think BioWare could have done better, is what I'm trying to say. BioWare knows how to make a good game, and I think they totally dropped the ball. I think it had to do a little bit with... there's so many rumors out there. There was a rumor going out, which I do believe, that Casey Hudson and Mac Walters locked themselves in the room and wrote the ending without giving it to the rest of the writers for a review. And I can say that the ending we got in Mass Effect 3 was not the original ending. The original ending was supposed to be... I'm sorry for my voice is just cracking on me, so you have to bear with me here. The original ending to Mass Effect 3, and you can Google this, look for the Drew Capuchin ending, was supposed to be... You're given two choices at the end, because if you remember, all throughout Mass Effect there was the dark matter, dark energy plotline. Mass Effect 2, where you recruited Tali, that was an example. If you remember the star, you couldn't stand. You had to be in the shadows. The sun would burn your shields off. That sun was decaying from dark energy, and the original ending to Mass Effect 3 was supposed to revolve around how dark energy is destroying the universe, and the Reapers are created to stop it. However, they're not doing a very good job of it, and they find out that humans are a unique breed that can, if harvested into Reaper form, they can stop this dark energy. So at the end of Mass Effect 3, you were supposed to be given two choices. Either have all of humanity harvested into a Reaper, and as a result you will stop the dark energy, or choose to tell the Reapers to take a hike, and you destroy them, and you have a limited amount of time left to save the universe from dark energy, and they leave it open-ended at that, whether or not humans actually find a way to stop the dark energy from destroying everything. So this ending got leaked back in November of 2011, and because it got leaked, they scrapped it, and Drew Capuchin left BioWare. Probably had to do with the leak. He did not go into details, but with the ending leaked, they came up with, in the limited amount of time they had, they came up with the ending that we got. And it just is really bad. It is such a bad ending. You know, I don't really know what else there is to say about it. I mean, you can go on the internet and reread and reread and reread what people have to say about the ending. It's all been said a million times, so I'm not going to rehash it on here. But there is a lot to be... There's a lot that needs to be done, and a lot that could have been, and they just... BioWare dropped the ball on that ending, and the ending gives you no accomplishment. At least I felt no sense of accomplishment or no reward out of the ending. And it made me feel like everything I did over the course of 3 games was meaningless. There was no point to it. I have my games, Mass Effects 1, 2, and 3, sitting up here on my shelf. I have not touched them since beating Mass Effect 3. I must have played 1 and 2 through half a dozen, Mass Effect 2 probably a dozen times. Mass Effect 3 I've only played through once, and I have no desire to play it again because of that ending, and it stinks. But that said, here's hoping the extended cut can fix a lot of what went wrong, but I don't have much faith in BioWare at this point. And I don't think they are the company that they once were. And I blame EA for that, but it stinks, you know.